Hey Party Squad, welcome back to my studio. Today I want to show you how to put together this twinkle light backdrop. It's really simple but adds an elegant touch to any party or event. So follow along and I'll show you how to build this as well as some tips and tricks to make it look professional. To set up this backdrop, you're going to need a double backdrop stand, which means there's two pipes going along the top that have some space in between them, and that's going to allow some diffusion of our lights. Now you can absolutely buy these, or you can check out my PVC pipe double backdrop stand video, which I'll have linked below if you'd like to make one for yourself. It's always good practice to use weights on any of your stands, so I'm using 2 sandbags on the back side of my backdrop stand so I don't have to worry about it tipping. The first layer of this backdrop is made up of a white backdrop panel, and this is 10 feet long and 5 feet wide, and I'll be using 2 of these on my 8-foot wide stand, and that'll give me enough room to put some nice gathers in it. And this also has a pole pocket on the top, so I can slide my pole right through it and hang it with ease. So up here onto the stand, I've got my 2 poles, so the front pole will be for a sheer material, and the back pole is where I'm going to hang this white fabric. Now this is going to hide anything behind it and reflect all of our twinkle lights towards the front. Whenever I hang a backdrop, I always want to make sure my fabric is wide enough so I can put plenty of gathers and folds into it, because that's going to give it a lot of visual texture and interest. Now I have a lot of extra fabric just sitting on the floor here, and I don't want it to sit rumpledy like this. So I'm going to grab it about 2 feet up off the floor, pick it up, fold the tail back behind the stand, and then bring it forward so we get a nice straight line along the bottom. Now if you're using multiple fabric panels like I am today, it's good to overlap those folds by a couple inches, and that way it'll keep the fabric from gapping open and so you can see stuff behind it. If for some reason it doesn't want to stay shut, you could always add some pins or binder clips to the backside to keep it from opening up. Taking a moment to do these few simple things is going to give our backdrop a really professional and clean look in the end. For today's setup, I'm using these warm white curtain LED lights, and I chose this one specifically because of the end piece here. I can chain multiples of these together, so this is about 10 feet worth of curtain, but I could put up to 3 of these together and give myself a 30-foot wide wall of lights if I so choose. Now when you're picking out lights like this, you want to make sure they either have clear or white strings and not green Christmas lights, because that'll be a lot harder to hide in a setup like this. So in a curtain light, there's a main string, and then across that main string you'll have individual strands that are about every 6 to 10 inches. So let's get this up on the backdrop and I'll show you more. To attach my lights to the backdrop, I'm using these curtain clips. These are inexpensive little clips that you'd usually hook over a rod over a window and then use the clip part to attach your fabric. I'm doing the reverse. I'm going to use the clip and put it directly onto my backdrop fabric and use that hook side to hold the wire of my lights. To start, I'm going to hang 5 of these clips about 1 inch down from the top of my pole and then evenly distribute my lights across these 5 hooks. This is going to hold the weight of my lights and also give me a chance to make sure they're evenly distributed across the backdrop. So my backdrop is 8 feet wide and I have almost 10 feet of lights here. So I'm going to count them, find the center point, and then even them out so I've got them spaced out equally. And once I've got that done, I'm going to come back and put a hook on the top of each strand. This is going to help bear the weight really well and make sure that my lights stay really level. If I let them droop a little bit, the strings may fall at an angle, which I don't want. I want them to hang nice and straight. 1 strand at a time, I untied them and gently pulled them straight down to the floor. These were brand new, so they were pretty folded and twisted. So I just held them away from the backdrop, let them unwind without tangling up the strings next to them. Once I had all of the strings pulled down so they were nice and straight, there was a little bit of pooling of extra string on the bottom. I didn't mind the pooled look, but if you were wanting to keep this really clean along the floor, you could always tuck the ends of those lights underneath the backdrop fabric so you wouldn't see them. For the front layer of fabric, I'm using this sheer white curtain panel, and I just ordered these off Amazon. It's a very standard size, but I chose the sheer so that you can still see the light through it, but it's going to fuse a little bit and give it that ethereal look. These panels also have pole pockets in the top, which is going to make our installation super easy. Now I'm using 4 panels of this on the front pole of my backdrop stand, so I had enough material to cover the entire expanse and giving myself enough fabric for those beautiful folds. I chose to go with all white fabrics because of its versatility. White can be used in so many different situations, and I can accent it with florals, greenery, balloons, and take it in a lot of different directions. But you could choose any number of color combinations between the backdrop fabric and the sheers in front to give you a wide variety of looks. So now all we have to do is dim the lights and take in the twinkling glow. I hope you're inspired by today's project and give this a try at your next party or event. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button and subscribe below so you don't miss any future projects, as I've got lots of event and party setups, balloon tutorials, and more how-tos coming your way. You can also check out my Patreon group if you'd like to learn even more party and event tips. And until the next time, you can check out some of my other projects over here. And remember, stay creative, everybody. Bye!